everyone. This is the first episode of Movie Mainline. There are a lot of movie podcasts out there, and I'm telling you, we're a foursome that's going to really change the dynamic of movie review podcasts. And I just lied. I absolutely lied. We're going to be like almost every single podcast out there, and we're only going to add to the white noise. That's why I'm only every single week. I may be here for the next 500 episodes of Movie Mainline, but
500.
We're gonna go 500.
We're gonna go 500.
I'll be dead.
You can't do 500. I got shit to do.
Episodes, and I'm only gonna be. This is live. I'm your special guest, Greg Srisavasdi. I'm one of the. I'm not part of the three. I'm just a special guest. We're here. I'm part of the Movie Mainline. I'm not the anchor. I'm just a part of that pipeline. And our goal, I'm guessing, is to every week give you guys, listeners, watchers of this video, some excellent. Hopefully, well, the three of you guys will have excellent movie recommendations. I might have middling movie recommendations.
Middling.
So that is our main goal for Movie Mainline, Movie Pipeline, Movie whatever line. I think that was my horrible intro. Guys, before we start our first segment, can each of you start off and talk about who you are, where you're from, and I don't know, that's it.
Let's go in alphabetical order.
All right.
Okay.
Bruce, you're first.
I guess that's me. I am Bruce Purkey, and I am from Athens, Alabama. Not Athens, Georgia, or wherever Athens they might be. I'm from Athens, Alabama, but originally from the Northwest. So I'm a transplant down here. And that's about all you need to know about me, other than I watch lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of movies.
Well, Bruce, before we get on to, I'm bad with alphabets. Eric, before we get to Eric, are the people watching the video? Is that a person right next to you with the hair?
Yeah, this is Chandler. Yeah.
Hi, Chandler.
He's my friend. I don't have lots of friends right now, in quarantine, so I've got to make do with the refuse.
It helps to keep a conversation with some type of object.
They won't pick up recycling right now because of quarantine, so I have to turn them into friends. So,
is Chandler a cinephile just like us? Does he love movies?
Yeah. Actually, he mostly just watches Friends. I don't know what's up with that, but he's really into Friends.
Oh, he's got
the hair. He's got my hair that I don't have anymore.
And so, are you a big fan of Friends, Eric Holmes?
Friends? I love Friends. You guys, I love you guys. I love all my friends.
And Eric, who are you? I think that's a song. Who are you? What are you about? Where are you from? And thank you, by the way. Eric Holmes, by the way, before I'm going to introduce him for himself. I'm actually stepping over you, Eric. Eric is a good friend of the show, of us. This is our first show, but he's a good friend. He has great movie taste. He introduced me to the world.
We'll see about that.
Eric, what is your movie aesthetic? What are you about? How, when did you start your love for film and everything like that?
Well, first of all, I'll say if Greg is the heart of Movie Mainline, Bruce Purkey is the brain, Lewis is the spine, I'm the xiphoid process, the little pointy thing at the end of the rib cage right there. My movie taste is what I like. That's just, some of it's hipster bullshit, some of it's romantic comedies. Sometimes it's stupid action movies. Sometimes they're actually good movies. But if I don't like it, I don't like it. If I like it, I like it. That's pretty much how it goes. I don't really think too deeply into. I think deeply about the movies that I like. I don't think too deeply about why I like them. I just either do or I don't.
Yeah, I'm about the same way
right now, because that's how I look at movies, and that's, by the way I look at movies is the wrong way. I prefer your way of looking at movies, Eric. Now we're going to Lewis, who is, like Eric says, the anchor of the pipeline,
I don't know about the anchor, but I'm something.
Spine. I just said spine. I just wanted to throw a xiphoid process joke in there. You can be whatever part of the body you want. The dick of Movie Mainline's Luis Lacau.
That's right.
Yeah,
you gotta watch out for the little squirts there. But no, I'm actually part of Man Bites Media. You can check us out on any website and all that stuff. But my taste is all over the place, very much like everybody on here. I love movies since I was a kid, and I've always loved movies. I've wanted to talk about movies since I was a kid, and I'm always doing recommendations and stuff like that to people. And that's honestly how I handle. I don't review quote unquote movies. I just talk about them. I'm a fan of movies, all kinds, from all wakes of life. I get shit so much because in like film school, I brought up Fern Gully as my final project because I was like, "That's a fucking glorious movie. It is perfection." And if you actually analyze it, you get it. And everybody, all these fucking hipster shitheads in Miami, looked at me with this face because they were talking about Casablanca and all these like pretentious as fuck films, and I was like, Fern Gully, fuck you guys. This is a glorious movie.
Eric and Bruce, have you tried Fern Gully? I believe it's called Fern Gully: The Last Rainforest.
Yes.
Right? Are both Eric, Bruce? Do you co-sign on the magic of Fern Gully? Because I've never seen this movie.
What?
I have not seen Ferngully either. As far as cartoons go, I don't have kids of my own, but I live with my nieces and nephews, and they pretty much ruin cartoons for me. So I don't like. I know like there's a bunch of animated movies that are brilliant, and people it's like, dude, have you seen the Studio Ghibli movies, for example? Like people talk about those all the time, and I'm sure they're wonderful, but they're animated, and I am fucking sick of animated movies. I guess that would be my. That would be my blind spot. I've seen like a bunch of them when I was a kid, but once I started watching other people's kids, then they kind of ruin animated movies for me.
This was early 90s.
I'm not against them. I don't seek them out.
This was early 90s.
Yeah.
It actually has Robin Williams and Tim Curry in it.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Well, see again, Tim Curry. I'd much rather watch Legend.
Oh, I grew up with that too. So.
How about you, Fern Gully? Have you seen Fern Gully?
I don't think I have seen Fern Gully, actually. I'm going to have to watch it before we have our next episode, and I can check in on that.
It's very much like the Don Bluth movies, the All Dogs Go to Heaven, that kind of.
Bible Goes West and all that stuff. Isn't Don Bluth?
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned Don Bluth. Everything I said is complete bullshit. Take back everything I said about that. Don Bluth is fucking awesome. Secret of Nim, that movie fucking holds. I just saw that. I just saw that like a couple months ago, and that thing holds up. Like,
dude, it's still
Secret of Nim is good.
Yeah, it's very much that style. It has that dark-esque feel to it, and it doesn't. It's not all happy-go-lucky like all these Disney bullshit movies. It's very dark movie, and it's about environmentalism and all that stuff. But way ahead of the curve on that.
Okay, you sold me on Fern Gully. I'm watching that tonight. Once we're done, I'm putting on Fern Gully. And if it's not as good as Don Bluth, I'm going to crawl through the internet. No, I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to be like, nah, I don't like it and turn it off. But
Luis, you said something about the hipsters who were scoffing or eschewing the whole thing about Fern Gully. I remember when in the early 90s, you said early 90s, I was a film critic at the Daily Bruin. And I remember there was a pullout and it said Fern Gully movie review. And I said to myself, man, who the bleep review that bleeping? See, I don't swear, folks listening to this, I'm going to be the most annoying guest person you've ever listened to because I'm not going to swear. I'm going to do bleeps. And that's horrible. I'm sorry. But I remember, Luis, I said to myself, what kind of person reviews these freaking cartoons? I'm all about reviewing the next Martin Scorsese movie. So to your point, all those hipsters, AF, that was actually me. And hopefully as the years progress, I'm like you guys, I'm going to definitely watch Fern Gully, The Last
It's definitely good.
It's for those people, Luis.
It's underappreciated. It's really underappreciated. And it has a good message and it's not corny as hell and all that stuff. So it's definitely worth a watch.
Cool. Now I want to actually, so a part of this is like we convened last week and we said for our first episode, we're going to have maybe several recommendations, each of us. So by the end, the listener, watcher will have maybe 10 to 12 good movies to watch, possibly.
Yes.
And I was just wondering which one of you guys wants to go first with, should we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then each of us go in a rotating circle of doing movie recs.
Are we supposed to do 4? I got 11, but I can save some.
Overachiever.
Wow, Eric.
Hey, I like to party.
I thought we were going to just like quickly mention a few and then have one that we kind of feature. That's our like featured one for the week. So.
Okay. Should we go? Each of us start with a featured first, Bruce?
No, I say just go through like some quick ones and where they're at, and then we can each kind of end with our like one that we really would say is our top one to suggest from that week.
Okay.
I think.
I'm going to. Can I call the first person?
Yeah.
The first person will be Luis.
Oh, God damn it! All right. So I'm gonna
Big
have one
swinging
that's
dick
gonna.
of the.
I'm gonna have one that's gonna piss all of you guys off. I'm actually gonna recommend Coffee and Kareem. I actually enjoyed this movie. I really enjoyed this movie. It was funny. It was stupid, and it was enjoyable.
You know what? I'm having a bad. Luis, are you recording this? Because I heard
him say he cut out everything that came through except stupid was the only thing I heard come through on that.
No, he said he liked Coffee and Kareem.
Yeah.
There's a movie, Coffee and Kareem.
You can't.
I haven't seen it. Is it good?
It's good.
Is this Starbucks? Because I don't go to Starbucks anymore. Are you talking about the drink? Or this is a movie that you're talking about? Luis?
Yes, it is actually good. It's on Netflix. It's Coffee and Cream. It's actually enjoyable. It's that kind of like Grandma's Boys type of thing. You know, it's that over the top, childish, bullshit potty humor, but it is enjoyable. It's really interesting the way that they actually run the comedy is fun. It's Ed Helms being this dad that's wannabe dad that's trying to take on this kid that's ghetto as hell, and the ghetto as hell kid is trying to kill Ed Helms because he wants to be like the stepdad to him, and it just ensues all the madness from there on out. It's just fun. It's stupid, turn your brain off fun.
You know, Luis, I'm looking at Bruce right now. He looks like one of the 12 angry men in that film who's ready. You're like the kid who's ready to put you to death. And actually, it'll take Henry Fonda to actually release you.
Turn me.
He looks more like Tony Danza in the freaking remake where he's like, I got a baseball game to go to. Let's get...
This is why Eric Holmes is an amazing human being, because no one in this world would know that Tony Danza started in the remake of 12 Angry Men. You know what's so funny about this? And I'm so glad.
That's my inner hipster coming out.
What do you say? What?
Oh, I said that was my inner hipster coming out. It's like 12 Angry Men is good, but have you seen the made-for-TV remake? William Friedkin? Yeah. Probably not. It's not a big deal.
They're like the Shining miniseries was so much better than the movie.
By the way, Tony Danza was.
You just broke me with that one.
No, it's an amazing remake of 12 Angry Men, and Tony Danza, to Eric's point, is excellent in that film. Yeah, but Coffee and Kareem, to be serious about that, is I watched that movie because Anderson Cowan absolutely recommended this film. And I really, because, you know, Anderson has done really good recommendations over the years. I give him credit. Bone Tomahawk and Buffalo 66. A lot of great. A lot of great stuff. And then so, like maybe a couple of weeks ago, he was mentioning how he doesn't understand how people really are ishing. I'm going to say ishing on Coffee and Kareem. And I said, yeah, maybe there's just a lot of people who just don't know what they're talking about, including Bruce Purkey, who didn't like it. I was like, maybe Bruce is just a little bit of a hipster here. So I watched it on a Saturday. I think it's 90 minutes. And I actually had, it was just a movie that just existed for me. Just like how I exist whenever there's a woman in the room. I'm the person who's I'm part of the wallpaper, and I'm basically the invisible man. And that's how I took Coffee and Kareem. It wasn't coffee. It wasn't cream. It was more like a white space where there's nothing on it.
There's more tea and milk for you.
Listen, but to Lewis's point, though, I think, and in your defense, Lewis, I think there are a lot of people who would enjoy Coffee and Cream because there are some people who will actually enjoy that movie. Just say that. I'm trying to be nice about it, but I think I see people. I think there are people in this world who like that movie.
To quote a film vault, it's a Frank movie.
Yes, a Frank.
That's true. Yeah.
The weird thing about comedies, though, and it's been this way for a long time, and I haven't seen Coffee and Cream, so I can't. I really shouldn't speak at all. But Billy Madison, for example, when it came out, just got shit on. Oh, that was so stupid. And then now it's like, dude, Billy Madison's hilarious. Almost Heroes, when it came out, it's like, oh, it's Chris Farley, it's so stupid. Meanwhile, there's one of the greatest lines, I named this here fork in the road Pittsburgh Nellie. A Welsh whore that could do things with her good arm, they'll make you forget about the thing on her neck. Hilarious. But like I wonder if Coffee and Cream is like one of the, or Cream or Kareem? Kareem.
Yeah.
Double entendre.
Yeah.
But it's I wonder if it's one of those movies that's critics in general don't like comedies, like the really funny ones. So, and don't get me wrong, I love Punch Drunk Love, but when that came out, it's like, oh, it was Adam Sandler's funniest achievement. No, it wasn't.
No.
Punch Drunk Love is a great movie. It is. If I'm going to point someone to a comedy, it's not going to be Punch Drunk Love. I mean, it's like, hey, you want to watch a really good movie with a love story? Go watch Punch Drunk Love. I'll point you in that direction. You want to watch something funny? Fucking watch That's My Boy, or something like that.
Wow, That's My Boy. By the way,
this is
dude, he plays an asshole in that movie. It's hilarious.
I am vibing with you because over the years, I've told people how awesome That's My Boy is, and they really give me the Bruce Purkey death stare when I say That's My Boy is a classic. I'm kidding. Classic. It's a classic movie, and I love that film, and that's such an underappreciated film. But again, I'm digging myself a hole with this Coffee and Cream thing. It is not as bad as I'm joking that it is. It wasn't for me. There will be Eric. You should definitely check it out and see. I'd love to hear what you think about that movie.
Yeah, I also think. Do you guys have this problem with? Because I don't often. Granted, it's not playing in theaters because nothing's playing in theaters now. But I always had a problem watching comedies in theaters because one of my favorite things to do is when a funny part happens, I'm usually watching it with my brother. And we rewind the funny part 3 or 4 times. The movie's about 90 minutes long, and it takes us about 5 hours to watch it the first time through. You guys get that?
Well,
yeah.
Comedy is so subjective anyway, right? I mean, everybody's version of humor is so different. And on top of that, like you said, with your brother you watch it with or whatever, I think a lot of it is like who you're watching it with. When you're vibing with your friends, and you're all into like a movie, I mean, it's kind of your thing and you're sharing it. It's like that experience together makes it almost better than the movie itself,
Yeah, one of my brothers, Pat, he watched Little Nicky when it was him and his girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And they went and watched Little Nicky in the theater, and they came out and it's like, oh, it sucked. And then so we're like, well, we'll see about that. And we went and saw it, and and he came with us, and we're watching. It was like, oh, I guess Courtney just sucks, but you have to somehow, like when certain movies, when you watch them with people, it's a different experience. Or maybe you go watch a movie and you're pissed off or not feeling it like that.
Yeah.
Your life definitely plays a role in how you take it in the first time, and of course, first impressions are important. So if you're going to watch a funny movie with someone that's not funny, then the movie's probably not going to work for you. Maybe if you watch it by yourself, it's not going to work for you. But if you watch it and you're drunk or whatever, and you're with like-minded friends that like stupid humor, it's like, oh, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen. It.
That's the whole point of comedy, is to watch it with a group of friends. You drink, have a couple drinks and stuff like that. That's how I would recommend this movie. Don't sit there and think like, oh, this is a piece of cinema. No, this is not cinema. This is fun bullshit movie. That's That's all.
It's like the difference between going to a stand-up club, watching a stand-up comic, and then just take that same comic doing the same set and have them do it in front of you by yourself in your bedroom. Gonna be completely different. It's gonna have a completely different, same jokes, same everything, but different contexts.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, he's the worst comedian. He came in the bathroom and did it while I was taking a shit, and he just was not funny at all. I didn't laugh once. It's like, well, look at the context,
Yeah.
I think that plays a part as well.
Before we close on Sandler, I just want to throw in a closing thing. I recently, maybe a month and a half ago, I saw Click for the first time.
That is a glorious movie.
Yeah. Bruce, have you seen Click?
I've seen Click. You mentioned earlier Little Nicky. That's kind of my guilty pleasure for him. I actually like Little Nicky, believe it or not. And everybody hates that movie.
You should never feel guilty about your pleasure.
Louis, just put that in quotes, and then we should just use that as our mantra for the show. But I'm going to tell you, I used to think that Sandler sucked for many years, and that I was that hipster who was saying, "Oh, I'm only going to see Spanglish or Punch Drunk Love or Rain Over Me."
I love Spanglish too. That's a glorious movie.
Yeah. Let's not mess it. Those are also great movies. Just they're.
Sandler's been tainted by the movies that are coming out on Netflix, and that's the problem.
Uncut Gems is a great movie, not his best comedy.
No. No.
Yeah, it's not a feel-good movie.
Very few films have reached the level of almost I was near tears at the end of Click. I was surprised.
Seriously. Yeah, agreed. But talking about mantra, actually, the next one that I want to bring up is Annie Hall. That's actually streaming on Amazon Prime. Which, Greg, do you know where the mantra scene? Who actually says the mantra scene?
No.
No.
I don't think I can actually say that I'm a fan of Woody Allen because I'm a politically correct person.
What?
I've never heard.
Get out of here.
I've never
Get
heard
out
of
of. You're gonna admit it. You're gonna admit it. You must admit.
I think Anderson's a huge fan.
Wow.
I also like on my spare time I'm learning how to be a bus driver, so I can actually run over people. But no, I don't know where the mantra. No, I'm a huge Woody Allen fan. When he's the reason.
Jeff Goldblum makes that little cameo in the movie, and he says, "Where's my mantra?" when he's talking on the phone.
Very good. At the end of the movie, right?
Yeah, almost at the end. Yeah, when they're in LA already.
Oh yeah. So your other recommendation is Annie Hall on Netflix.
Annie Hall, which is fucking glorious. That is on my top 10 movies of all time. I fucking love that movie.
Eric, Bruce, what do you think of Annie Hall?
I've seen very few of Woody Allen's movies. He's kind of like Wes Anderson for me. Just his aesthetic doesn't usually do it for me. Although the Midnight in Paris, I like that one a lot. Cool. But I think I've only seen maybe 2 or 3 Woody. I haven't seen many Woody Allen movies.
Oh, dude, his catalog is glorious. He has 56 names.
And it's not that I'm against watching movies directed by pedophiles. I like Jeepers Creepers. But
Roman Polanski.
You like Powder?
I'm not a big Roman Polanski guy either.
There's a couple good ones, but not much. But there's a couple. But I agree with you. Woody Allen is not a good person, but that's why I actually appreciate buying. My excuse is I buy his movies used, so I don't ever give him money directly.
Well, no, I don't care about that. I'll still watch Kevin Spacey movies all day long. It's not the politics. It's his like Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson, not a pedophile, by the way, that I know of, but. Wes Anderson, I don't really vibe with his auteurism or whatever you want to call that. I'm not picking up what he's setting down, that sort of thing.
It's very Jewish humor. It is very Jewish humor.
Yeah. Well, that's racist, but we can move on.
You gotta call a duck, right?
So Eric, you don't like that whole neurotic, stumbling over his words kind of delivery that Woody Allen does. That's essentially that.
I'm not sure because there's a little bit of that in like Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I love that show. So
Yes.
I don't know. It's just Woody Allen I just never gravitated towards it. In fact, I gravitated away from it.
Nice. Bruce,
Woody
you're
Allen is dark
Annie
matter,
Hall?
just pushing me away faster than the speed of light.
Bruce, you're an Annie
Science
Hall guy?
humor.
Are you an Annie Hall guy?
I like Annie Hall. I like the earlier like Take the Money and Run, Love and Death.
Yes.
And his later stuff. Some of the later stuff I like. I really, really love Crimes and Misdemeanors. I
Yes.
think that's one of my favorite
That
movies
was
of all
good.
of his. It's super dark and it's super not his usual vibe. And Martin Landau in that, if I remember correctly. The Martin
Yep.
Landau?
Yep. It was
Is
Mark Landau.
amazing in that. Yeah. So I like some of his stuff. I think since the thousands, I have really kind of fallen off on Woody Allen. But yeah.
I mean, the guy's prolific.
some
He
great
does a
stuff.
movie every year. Every year. It's incredible.
That
Since
is pretty
Annie Hall.
impressive.
Sorry, Eric?
Oh, I was going to say his prolificism, or whatever the word would be there. The fact that he makes one movie a year is pretty impressive.
And writes and directs almost 99% of them, which is fucking
Yeah.
incredible. But
I have
last one
trouble
that I wanna-
making a movie once every 42 years. I haven't done it yet, so he does one a year. Hey,
I'm
maybe I need to start
49,
fucking kids too. Maybe I'll get a bunch of movies.
Wow.
Wait, we can cut this out, right? All right, move on. Move on.
I'll mark that one.
Excellent.
So, okay, yeah.
But the last one that I want to bring up is actually Bubba the Redneck Werewolf, which this one is actually streaming on Amazon Prime. And it's a friend of mine that directed this. It is fucking glorious. Bubba the Redneck Werewolf. It's comedy. It's this literally hillbilly, and he does every cliche that a hillbilly does. Lives in a trailer, abuses a girlfriend type of bullshit, and then he turns into a werewolf because he gets bitten by one of the dogs in the pound, and he gets approached by Satan to kind of become a superhero, and it's the stupidest shit ever, but it is so fun. It's that type of B film that you will enjoy.
Look at Greg's face.
Yeah. What's the name of your friend? What's the name of your friend?
Bubba.
Yes, actually.
So, do I watch this before or after Ferngully tonight?
I would say maybe 5 or 6 drinks in.
Keep in mind your friend worked on this.
What is your friend's name, Louis?
Huh?
What is your friend's name?
I cannot remember his actual stage name.
Oh.
You guys must be real close.
I know, right?
Secrecy comes out in the first episode.
And I'm like, oh crap, they're gonna ask
He's
me. what
only
his
seen
name
him when
is.
he's a werewolf, so
Well,
you've never seen him as a human.
Bubba the Redneck Werewolf is now currently streaming on Amazon Prime Video.
Yes.
Another pick is Annie Hall, directed by Woody Allen, streaming on Netflix. Which again, I just wanted to say I'm going to co-sign on that pick. If I always say, listeners, viewers, if you want to get your feet wet into the Woody Allen universe, I think Annie Hall is the one movie that you should go straight into, especially if you're in the need for a relationship comedy / drama. And if you want to learn how to actually write something awesome within that romantic comedy space, you're not going to get anything better than Annie Hall. That's just my personal, like you said, outside activities aside and person aside, it doesn't get better than Annie Hall. Personally, my favorite Woody Allen films are Broadway Danny Rose and Manhattan, but that's probably for episode 285, which we're going to probably talk about Woody Allen. And then finally, Coffee and Cream, Lewis, is it's a movie that's streaming on Netflix.
Yeah.
So those are your 3 little mini picks.
Yep.
I am going to go to Bruce Purkey for your several mini picks now.
All right, several mini picks. First up, I've got, I was kind of torn between 2 documentaries, but I think the one that might be most fun for people is the Barkley Marathon, which is on Amazon Prime. And it also takes place pretty close to where I live, which is, I'm in North Alabama, and it takes place in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys seen the Barkley Marathon?
Yes.
You know what the
Like,
Barkley Marathon
Yes.
is?
Charles Barkley, like that's how you spell the Barkley.
It's the
Yeah,
same spelling,
Barkley.
but not the same person.
It's just named after this friend that this guy has. This guy is an ex extreme runner, and he sets up this marathon, and it's like it only lets like 40 people a year into this marathon, and it's about 200 miles, and they have to run it straight through over about 3 days, and many years no one even gets through it. It's insane, and you only have to pay like I forget what it is, like you pay like $5 to get into it.
You pay $5 a T-shirt or whatever thing he's actually requiring that year, and a license plate from the state or country that you're from.
And this guy is just like this crazy old hippie dude.
So good.
So good. Redneck hippie kind of guy. And he based it on when this one, the guy who, what's his name? Earl Ray. What's the guy who tried to
I forgot who it was that he tried to kill.
The guy who assassinated Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes.
I believe. That guy actually escaped from a prison and ran away from the prison. And he ran away for so many hours. It was like 80 hours or something. And he only got a few miles. So this guy who started the marathon thought, well, I could have got farther than that. I could have got 100 miles. So that was the basis of this whole race. And very few people have done it. And it's basically the documentary takes place over one of the marathon years. So you get to follow all the contestants, the 40 contestants, to see if anyone makes it. And it's amazing. It's really, really entertaining. It's like 90 minutes long. You could go, for documentaries, it's not dry. It's got full of interesting characters. It's incredible.
The founder is the best part.
I love that he ran, and that's what the takeaway is, as opposed to like the Baltimore police that saw the Rodney King beating and go, well, I can do that, and then political humor. And never mind. But go on.
Greg was
anyway,
so
that's a great one to check out. If you're not really a documentary person, but you want something that's actually interesting and something you've probably never seen or heard of before, the Barkley Marathons on Prime is a great one. The next one I have is called Tokyo! Exclamation point.
Oh, is that the what do you call it? The anthology?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
On Tubi. It's on Tubi, so you can see it for free. And that's the anthology with Michel Gondry is one of the three, and then I want to look up his name here. Leo Carax. I don't know if you know who that guy is. He did Holy Motors, which is another insane movie.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And the character in Holy Motors, that really crazy, almost homeless-looking guy, that's named Merd, which you can't say, Greg. You can't say Merd. You're not allowed. He is, his story is in this, but he's in Tokyo. And it's this crazy guy who crawls out of the sewers and like terrorizes people and eats money and flowers. You can't describe it. You got to see it. It's a weird thing. And then the last story on there is by Bong Joon-ho.
Oh.
And it's a really great short. And if you are kind of getting all caught up on all the Bong Joon-ho stuff, this is a really neat little short. Even if you don't like the other two, I think you really like it. I say it's closest to his kind of Mother style of filming than his more sci-fi type stuff. Cool. So that'd be my second choice.
Nice.
And my biggest choice, and I keep putting this out to the mountaintop, and most people haven't caught on to it yet, I don't think. The entire series of Devs, the EVS, is now available on Hulu FX. And Devs is the miniseries by Alex Garland. And if you like Ex Machina and Annihilation, it's his series.
Does it reach that level of Ex Machina?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
My watch thinks I was saying
Alex
something.
Garland, not Alexa.
Yeah.
It's a satisfying conclusion, all that stuff, no real big flaws.
I thought it was pretty excellent. I mean, I think it has all the things that all the other things do. It's a companion piece, I would say, in a lot of ways to Ex Machina in like theme. And the basic concept, I'll just give you the real basic concept. Oh, and who's in it? I always forget. Nick Offerman is in there.
Yes.
And Alison Pill. And if you remember the woman that dances in Ex Machina, his like Japanese friend. I won't give away any clues in that, but she is the main star of this series. But the basic concept of the series is you've got Nick Offerman as this kind of guru-like, Google type of guy, right? He's like created this whole tech company. And he's got this extra special unit called Devs, which is for the high-end development stuff. And to get into there, it's like highly, highly top secret. And it's all based around kind of what goes around in that Devs unit. And it gets very trippy and very weird. But it's kind of, to me, like, it's kind of like Lost. Like Lost set up all these things and couldn't answer any of them.
Right.
Yeah.
But this sets them all up and answers them all within like 8 episodes.
Wow.
So, and it's done.
So the anti-Abrams show.
Yeah, he did it all in 8 episodes. It's all directed and written by Alex Garland. Like no other directors, no other writers. It's all him.
Nice.
I don't want to talk too much shit, but would it kill J.J. Abrams to think of an ending before he starts writing a script? It's not that hard. Usually most people, when they write a script, are like, I got this idea, I got this concept, and you know what? I know where it's going. Not J.J. Abrams. It's like, I'll figure it out as I go, and then he doesn't.
He has a mystery box with nothing inside.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like the box.
You're not a fan of the ending of Lost, Eric.
Oh no, I didn't watch all of Lost. I got like a season, and then they brought up questions, and then I watched the next episode, and they answered none of them, but brought up more questions. And then after about 3 or 4 episodes, I'm like, "Fuck this show," and so I just moved on.
You know how you watch Lost? This is how I watch Lost. You watch the season recap and the finale of each season. So you have to only watch like six episodes. That's how I watch Lost.
That's too much. I'm not doing it.
I actually enjoyed that show, though. Come on, that wasn't that bad of a show.
Yeah, I like the ending. I thought it could have been better.
I thought so too, but
I'm sure it's brilliant. I'll never know because I ain't about to watch the motherfucker.
You would, Eric. For someone like me who likes this ambiguity kind of thing and likes to make all these little stupid, horrible assumptions or interpretations, the ending of Lost works for someone like me who just it's just I can't see clearly. But for someone like you would have, if you actually stuck through the entire run of Lost and then you saw that final episode, I don't know, you would have really been mad.
You would have flipped your shit.
Fucker, now I'm going to watch Ferngully and all seasons of Lost tonight. You guys suck. I got so much homework to do tonight. It's ridiculous.
I don't ever want to put you in that state. It's just a frustrating state that a lot of people were in. Thankfully, people like there are
frustrating. How do you think I feel? I got to watch Ferngully and all the seasons of Lost. This is ridiculous. And Bubba Redneck Werewolf.
Dude,
made by Lewis's friend that he doesn't know his name.
That's Bubba, I told you.
No, that's like
by the way, his name is Mitch
a bigger
Hyman.
secret than that mystery box in Lost.
Mitch what?
Oh, I'm sorry?
Mitch Hyman.
Mitch Hyman?
Yeah.
Nice.
He has a stage name. That's why. So I'm like, fuck. What is his stage name?
Oh. So Hyman's not as.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to say my stage name is Anderson's adopted brother. So, a brother, adopted Asian brother. But Eric, what are your picks as far as recommendations that you'd like the listeners, viewers to check out? Hopefully.
Well, I got a bunch of them. Went through some old ones.
11? Do you have 11?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I got 10, and then we talked about. Because we were talking about movies that are streaming, and then one that is only on video.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll start with that one because I know you guys have probably seen it. Mask with Eric Stoltz about Rocky Dennis.
Yes.
Okay. As far as I know, that is not streaming anywhere, and I have the DVD. If you watch the movie, you would know that they got Bob Seger on the soundtrack. I got like the director's cut where they put in all the Bruce Springsteen songs that were supposed to be in there originally. And it's a story about Rocky Dennis. Who doesn't love Rocky Dennis? Loved. I guess he can still love someone after they're dead. But yeah, Rocky Dennis. He's a good, hopeful person. And it's got Sam Elliott as Gar. By far one of the greatest names in movie history. Gar.
And Eric Stoltz that's like his best. He's so good in that movie, isn't he? I just remember.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't even recognize him.
That and Back to the Future. He was great in Back to the Future.
We don't talk about that round each parch.
Who directed Mask? Was that Bogdanovich?
Yes, Bogdanovich. Peter Bogdanovich.
That is a great. And why did you pick that? Because was that part of your DVD collection, and you were just realizing, hey, this is not.
Yeah, I was just going through movies that aren't playing, because the whole idea of the not streaming is, it's the last grasp of physical media. Like, if you ever want to see Apocalypto, the only way you can see it is if you have it on DVD, or the only way you can see Dogma is if you have it on DVD. If you ever want to, if those float your boat. If not, you're like, fuck it, I don't care about those movies. But Mask is one of them. It's a great movie, and as far as I can tell, the only place you can find it is on video.
I am a total conspiracy theorist. There are a bazillion streaming platforms out here, and it's just, to me, of course, it's hemorrhaging our money, but what it's also doing is it's misdirecting us regarding movie choices. So we're going to think we have this abundance of choices, but if we're not if our antennas aren't turned on like Eric's, we're going to miss out on Mask or Apocalypto, and then we'll think we have all these choices, but we're actually, a lot of our choices are being winnowed away, I think.
Well, the good thing about it, though, or I guess the silver lining, is that there are a fuck ton of fiddlestick ton of nerds around that, like myself and others, I'm assuming you guys are similar, that they collect these things, as opposed to, like, say, lost movies from the 20s or the
right,
movies that physically don't exist anywhere, because people didn't collect home media back in the day. I don't think that probably didn't start till people rented videos in the 80s, started buying them in the 90s, and then PlayStation 2 came out, everyone was buying DVDs, and so anything that came out, someone has it somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's not the end of the world. It just makes it that much harder to find, which I think is kind of fun. There's certain movies. We have a store out here called Entertainmart. It's a giant warehouse with a bunch of used movies and video games and stuff, and it's fun to go through there. And I could order Blood In, Blood Out, but it's much more fun to go there and see if I can find the DVD somewhere, because it's like, then when I see it, it's like, holy shit, this thing exists, and then I get all excited about it. And then I watch it and go, okay, that was cool. Now I got to go find the next movie I'm obsessed about.
Okay, sorry about the rabbit hole thing, but like for Blood and Blood Out, how about, for example, if it's streaming on a service, right? But you have DVD, there might be a special featurette on that DVD which someone decided is not useful for anybody, and that featurette or extra thing is gone. It's literally, unless you have that disc, it's just gone for. So I'm totally all about physical media. I'm actually going to start buying more. The more streaming outlets there are, the more actually paranoid I do get about the whole thing.
Or the audio commentary. Hey, for anyone listening, here's a podcast idea. Go collect all your DVDs and Blu-rays, record the audio commentary, and then just every day put a new commentary on your podcast stream. Bam. Someone's going to be like, oh, where's the podcast, or where's the audio commentary for Cop Dog? Oh, here it is on this podcast. And I'll click on it, watch Cop Dog, and listen to the audio commentary at the same time.
Wow. Can we
just an idea? Throwing that out there. Take it.
That's amazing. You have 10 more recommendations, Eric. What are your other recommendations?
Well, okay, let's see. The next one, I'll go with a movie called Lovely Still. It's a Ellen Burstyn and I forget the guy's name. He was in Ed Wood, the old guy in Ed Wood. Martin Landau. Martin Landau.
Earlier.
Yeah. It's directed by Nick Fackler. I believe he's from Omaha, Nebraska, which is where I'm from. I think I met him once in passing. He was friends with my friend Aaron, so that's how I knew about this movie at all. But it's I don't know what I can talk about. It's got a twist ending, and the twist ending is really fucking stupid. However, everything that happens before that twist ending, it's what you ever see a movie that like High Tension is a good example, where the movie's just great all the way through, and if you stop at a certain point, it's like one of the best movies ever. Yeah. But then the ending's kind of like, I wish it didn't go there. Yep. Lovely Still has one of those endings, but everything leading up to it is a really sweet love story between two old people in the twilight years of their lives, and they come together. And here's a woman. I think she likes me. Well, hell, I've been on a date in decades, and I don't know if she's gonna like me. He's sitting there getting all cleaned up and combing his hair and I hope she likes my new tie. I got to comb my hair just right and brush my teeth. And then they go on the date and they hit it off, and it's just a really sweet movie, kind of like how Amelie. That movie is just like pure joy. Yeah. That's kind of what Lovely Still is, and it just goes that way. And towards the end, it hits a dark patch, and then it comes back. And then I've said too much, but just watch it. It's a really good movie. It's just that last little bit. It's like, take that out, and this thing's perfect.
The way you're talking about lonely people, it's Lovely Still. I think in Asian markets, specifically in the Philippines and in Thailand, it's called The Story of Greg Srisavasdi.
There you go. You'll be 90 years old and go, hello, you're listening to CinemAddicts, and I'm still looking for that special someone. I put on a nice tie. My tie's red, and you like red. I know that. I looked at your Facebook page. I know you guys don't use Facebook anymore or Twitter because this is way, way in the future. And I'm going to stop talking.
That's horrible, Eric. I don't sound that normal. So,
you can cut all that out. That was a bunch of fucking bullshit. So, Lovely Still.
Yeah, Lovely Still. Amazon Prime. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's on Tubi, and you can probably rent it everywhere.
Okay. It's on Amazon for free.
Oh, then there's no reason not to watch it. I'm about to watch Ferngully and Lost tonight, so you guys better watch Lovely Still and tell me what you think of it, because it's pretty great. I added it to
my list.
There you go. The next one I want to talk about is Iceman, or Der Mann aus dem Eis. It's a revenge thriller set in caveman times. It is not in English. It's and there are no subtitles, but they say like 4 words in it. Like they're like, it's on, and you can figure out he's saying "get out of here," or they're like, "ah," and he must be saying "ah," So there's not a lot of dialogue. It's damn near a silent film, but it's this Iceman, the Der Mann aus dem Eis, and he goes out hunting to bring, kill an animal and bring food back. And while he's out, a group of other cavemen come across his village and rape and kill everyone and burn the village down. And he's coming back just as they're leaving. And he gets a good look. Well, first of all, he just runs to his wife's thing, and she's dead. There's a little baby that's alive, and he's like, "Oh, thank God, this is all I have." And then he gets a good look at the guys as they're leaving. He's like, "Those motherfuckers! I'm going to get those." And so the rest of the movie is him chasing them down. And it's a movie no one's talked about, but it was I said it was my favorite of last year, but apparently it came out in 2017, but it wasn't released in the United States until last year, as far as I know.
And is that a Prime Video, Eric? Or
that is also, you can rent it on everywhere. It's not as I know, it's not free. You got to rent it, but is absolutely worth it. And
Yeah,
if
it's
I could
only
find
$2 rental.
yeah, if I could find a disc of this would definitely be one I would put. Like if they had a special collector's edition, I would buy the box set. And this movie's so good. I love it so much.
Wow.
The soundtrack is awesome, and it kind of has to be because no one, like I said, they hardly ever talk. It's almost a silent movie, but yeah, everything about Iceman is great, and it's sad that no one talks about it.
Basically,
And if I got to watch Lost in Ferngully, you guys should watch Iceman.
What?
You've been talking about this one for a while. I've been wanting to see this one for quite a while. I'm just going to bust down and pay for it. So
yeah. So basically, if you like revenge dramas, this is right up at the top as far as just definitely see.
Yeah,
I'm a revenge drama guy.
Actually, we were just talking about Apocalypto. Kind of similar to it's like Apocalypto and Revenant. It's kind of both those movies smashed into one.
Damn. Okay.
It kind of reminds me. It sounds a little bit like remember that old Quest for Fire was like that too, sort of, where it was like just no subtitles, no actual language, just Ice Age or not Ice Age people just out there doing their thing.
Yeah, and John Leguizamo shows up as a three-toed sloth. It's really good.
Oh, I think okay, yeah.
He does not actually do that in the movie, but you can imagine how cool it would be. Another one I want to talk about is a movie called Capture, Kill, Release. I've been singing the praises of this one forever too. Yeah. This one is a found footage movie. I'm going to warn you because I too hate found footage movies, but this one's really good. It's a boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're kind of playfully planning a murder. They don't know who they're going to murder yet. They just know they want to. And so they go to a hardware store. It's like if she picks up an axe, it's like, what do you think of this? It's like, oh, yeah, that's how sharp is it? Oh, yeah, it's pretty sharp. Okay, we'll put this in the thing. Oh, what else do we need? Oh, we need to get some plastic bags and lay those down because we make cleanup easier. There's going to be a lot of blood. Yes, there is. Yes, honey, there is going to be a lot of blood. And so they're kind of going through this whole thing of planning a murder. And as it turns out, the girlfriend was serious about it. And when the boyfriend finds out that she's taking this seriously, he's like, wait, what, honey? No, I thought we were just playing around. She's like, we're not fucking playing around. You kill that fucking cat. If you can't kill the cat, how are you supposed to kill a person? It's like, I don't want to fucking kill anyone. And then that's kind of what the movie is. And of course, it's found footage, so it's one of the two of them holding a camera the whole time. I don't have the name of the actors in it, but
what was the title again?
Capture, Kill, Release. I should warn you. I recommended this to one of my friends, Steve, and him and his girlfriend Gretchen watched it. And when I saw them next, they hated me. They're like, "That movie sucks. Why did you talk?" And I was like, I don't know what movie you guys saw, but it wasn't Capture, Kill, Release because that movie's awesome. But I just bring that up because maybe some people won't like it. I thought it was great, and I hate found footage movies, but that was one that did it right.
Nick McNulty. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah. He's got some TV show out like Mamelies or something with a clown. I haven't seen that because it's a TV show, and Lost will be the last TV show I ever watched. So.
You'll never make it to the end.
Eric, before you get to your next thing, I just a quick rewind. I just forgot to ask you this question. On Lovely Still, do you think there are actual people who might like the ending? That's just wondering do you think that ending
maybe it's just my only problem with it is it's a twist that didn't need to be there.
Okay.
Anthony Bourdain, I saw a video of him and he was talking about the perfect hamburger. It's like you got the bun, you got the meat, you got the cheese, ketchup, mustard, and maybe a pickle. And people always like to add stuff to a hamburger to try to jazz it up or deconstruct the hamburger. But you got to ask yourself, all this extra ingredients I'm adding to the hamburger, does it make it better? That's kind of where I'm at with the ending of Lovely Still. The movie was so great, and it had this twist at the end. You can take it or leave it. But you got to ask yourself, did that twist make the ending better? I don't think it did.
And
It's
regarding
just
sorry,
oh, go
regarding
ahead.
Capture Kill Release, you recommend that because
I don't need your help.
it's an elevated. Oh, sorry.
All right, go ahead.
Capture Kill Release. That's an elevation of the genre, the found footage genre. That's why you like.
No, it's kind of like Iceman. Like Iceman is just a revenge, a revenge picture. There's nothing that elevates. The same with Capture, Kill, Release. It's not like a deconstruction of the blah blah blah. It's just it knows what genre it's in and it does it well. It's a found footage movie. It's a found footage horror movie. It's got a great concept and it focuses on what it is and it does it well. Sometimes that's all you need. I'm trying to think of a good example of that, because usually like a lot of times in movies people like to sometimes you just need an action movie. John Wick's good at that. John Wick's just an action movie. It's not trying to reinvent cinema. It's just trying to be good at the genre. Yeah, it's just trying to be good at the genre that it chose.
Cool.
Cool. And I had a bunch more. I suppose I could save those for later episodes, maybe.
Yeah, you had your first recommendation. I want to go back very quickly on Mask. Was that your first recommendation? Your second?
Yeah, that was the non-streaming one.
The non-stream. Yeah, your physical.
Yeah.
I have not seen Mask. A couple of things. I have not seen Mask since maybe 1986 or 87. We saw it in class in high school, and I had to stop. I had to literally just hide my head and not cry. I remember that movie almost induced me to cry. And wow.
Bruce, you look so hairy.
Yeah.
So does your dog.
Very cool. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to actually watch Mask again, and it's so good to know that it really holds up. I mean, I remember Cher being so good in that movie, so I'm really excited to see that one again. So
I didn't mention Cher was in that. I should have. She is really good in that.
That's awesome. Late 90s. So yeah, I got to revisit that too.
Yeah, you can find it on not online. You got to find the DVD, but I suppose I could send it to one of you and you can pass it around.
Yeah. Luis, so was Annie Hall your big recommendation? Did you have a big recommendation, or was Luis? I think your big
my big recommendation that is non-streaming is actually, hold on, before I butcher the name and screw it up again. Who is Killing the Great Chefs of Europe? This is a fucking glorious movie.
Really?
It's really good.
I remember that movie.
Murder mystery. Very much like the Agatha Christie, the what's that French dude?
Poirot.
Yeah, Poirot. The Poirot type of story. It's very much like that. That it's kind of like you're trying to figure out who's actually killing these people and all that stuff. It's a whodunit, but it's really well done. The girlfriend loves like all these, or I'm sorry, the fiance loves all these like these really out there, really bizarre films, and this is one of them that she introduced to me, and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. This is actually really fun. So it has that comedic twist, but it has such great one-liners that if you could find this, and we found it on eBay for like $3 or something like that used, so it's not expensive, and it's well worth the money, honestly.
Wow. I remember the moniker ever since I was a kid. Who's Killing the Great Chefs in Europe? And I mean, I was thinking about that movie. I was like, one of these days I'm going to see that movie. One of these days I will see Eating Raoul, which
I saw a version of that.
Eating Raoul.
Yeah, it was on Pornhub.com. I believe we talked about that.
Eating.
Never visited that site. As we move on, and
it's pretty good. They got a bunch of great streaming short film streaming on there.
Okay.
All of them I've seen, I've exploded over.
So I'm who is killing? I'm eventually going to get to see who is killing the great chefs in Europe. You know what? I'm trying to think of my pick. I have a pick that is copying Bruce Purkey. It's currently streaming on Shudder. So this is a 2-for-1 package. Currently streaming on Shudder, but it comes out on Blu-ray and Steelbook, like Blu-ray Steelbook on May 5th. It's called Tigers Are Not Afraid. It's directed by this female filmmaker named Isa Lopez, and it's shot in Mexico City for very little money. Okay, and it centers on this kid. She witnesses there's a shooting near her school. All the kids go down on the floor, and the school teacher gives the girl, her name is Estrella. She gives Estrella, while she's on the floor, 3 pieces of chalk, and she tells Estrella, these are your 3 wishes, and make sure you use these 3 wishes. So what happens is Estrella goes home and she can't find her mother, and what happens is, since it's Mexico City, in the middle of the drug wars, people obviously are disappearing, kids are being victimized, parents obviously are disappearing, presumably killed. So what Estrella does is she assumes the worst, and she tries to befriend a group of young kids, young boys, and she becomes part of their ragtag crew as they try to survive the streets of Mexico City. It's called Tigers Are Not Afraid. It has a little bit of Bruce, like a surrealism element to it. There's
a little bit of magical realism kind of stuff going on. Yeah. I mean, like we said, both of us, I think, agreed that it has a little hint of that Pan's Labyrinth kind of feel, but not as fantastical.
Nice.
Yeah, and the reason why Isa Lopez is definitely a talent to watch is her next film. She just finished a screenplay about werewolves that is going to be produced by Guillermo del Toro. Okay, and then her next script, which she just finished, okay, is going to be produced, and I think she's going to direct it too. It's going to be produced by Noah Hawley, and he's the guy who created and produced Legion and that Natalie Portman space movie from last year. But he did Fargo. So this woman, she moved to LA from Mexico City in 2009, and she struggled for a bit, did a bunch of rom-coms, and Tigers Are Not Afraid actually was made and released in 2017, but I have no idea. I mean, like, for example, Bruce just saw it last year on Shudder. It was, I think, I looked up your thing, it was like a top 11 or 12 film for you, Bruce.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I mean, it's one of those low budget movies where it gets all out of its money. Like, it really gets everything out of the money. And I think a lot of it has to do with it just has some great child actors, and it has a lot of emotion, but it's also just interesting and a weird world that you're not, at least none of us probably have experienced, that. And I think we also kind of mentioned it kind of has a little element of that kind of city of God and that kind of stuff too, where you just got this really dangerous environment and you got kids just living in it, but they're also finding like great fun in the middle of all that and sadness. It's really, really good. It's awesome.
It's an amazing film. Streaming on Shudder. It comes out again on Blu-ray, DVD, Steelbook on May 5th. And this goes to Eric's point about physical media. I don't know. I'm assuming it's not on Shudder, but what you'll get deleted scenes, which I saw. There's 7 or 8 minutes of deleted scenes, and it really gives you a different look. It actually adds scenes. I wish she added some of those scenes to the original film. And there's some featurettes and audio. I don't know if there's an audio commentary. There's a featurette with her and Guillermo del Toro. I think they're talking at the Toronto International Film Festival. So some really good stuff, some really great special features. One of the special features, I was thinking of Eric, because Eric, you've been really into screenwriting and filmmaking this year, and she had one great piece of advice about how she decided to write what she really wanted to write. And she said when she was down in the dumps and was writing stuff she did not believe in, she decided one of her goals was to, and this is how she got Tigers Are Not Afraid made. Whenever she'd wake up, she promised herself she would not leave the bed until she wrote a scene on her laptop. And
that's a good idea.
Yeah, as soon as that scene was finished, she could start her day. But she literally, I don't have the strength for any of this, but I wanted to share that with you guys regarding writing personal stuff and writing stuff that means something to you. So I thought that was just really great stuff from Isa Lopez for Tigers Are Not Afraid. So that's my first rec. Eric?
Oh, I was going to say that's actually really good advice. A lot of people, not that I'm not Patty Chayefsky, so it didn't really matter what I say about it. But as far as writing, it's like it's hard to start, but once you start, like if you love writing, it's hard to stop. But a lot of people get hooked up on, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Whatever. But
Yeah.
just start writing, and then eventually it just becomes habit, and you keep doing it. But
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I second that advice.
Second, yeah, you're the. I've never finished a screenplay in my life, so
Dude, just do it. Just keep writing it.
Yeah,
Let it
I need
suck
to.
all day long, but at least it'll be done. That's all that matters.
That's true. That's true. To Bruce's point regarding the Barkley Marathon and documentary, the documentary pick. For some reason, I have a documentary pick, and this is my big pick. Actually, I'm gonna backtrack. I have one more little mini pick. It comes out tomorrow on digital. Okay, True History of the Kelly Gang. It comes out on.
Oh, I saw that.
Wait,
That sounds interesting.
you saw it? Oh,
Oh no, I didn't. I saw that was coming out. That was like one of them that I marked to watch.
yes, and I would love to hear what you guys think of this movie. I don't know if you've seen the other Ned Kelly films. I think Mick Jagger played Ned Kelly in a film, and Heath Ledger played Ned Kelly. And Ned Kelly's that iconic hero from Australia. He was a rebel, and he was. I think they call him the son of Steve or something, where they lead his family and a group of guys, and they dress up in women's clothing, and they rob people, and basically British colonials, who are exerting their influence on the indigenous people in Australia. So the people in Australia. So it was a kind of a class warfare kind of situation. And Ned Kelly, he's considered a big hero in Australia. So it's a big shoe to fill as far as that goes. But the movie itself, I don't know if you guys are fans of like Orson Welles and the way he shoots Shakespearean films like Othello or Chimes at Midnight. But there's a lot of surrealistic touches in True History of the Kelly Gang, and it's one of those things where you at first glance you might think it's all style over substance, because by the time it was finished I was thinking, yeah, this is a 4-star movie just because of the style. But as the hours progressed, I actually ended up really enjoying this film. It has a lot of the guy George McKay. He's the lead in 1917. Well, he's one of two guys in 1917, let's just say that. He plays Ned Kelly, and it also stars Russell Crowe, Charlie Hunnam, Essie Davis. You guys know Essie Davis from The Babadook, I still haven't seen.
Yeah, Babadook. You should see that.
Yeah. And True History of the Kelly Gang on digital on Friday. Really interesting film. 4 out of 5 star for me. But as you guys know, I always say 4 stars to every movie. But if you want something visually inspiring to watch, I would say give True History of the Kelly Gang a shot. Even like, let's just say, Eric, let's just say you don't like the story, or you think it sucks, or you guys think the story doesn't work. Visually, at least I think it might grab you just on that level. So at the worst.
The weird thing about the people talk about style versus substance a lot, like it's a bad thing. Like, well, and usually it's not one or the other. It'd be like a video game. It's like, oh yeah, the graphics are good, but the gameplay sucks, or the gameplay, the graphics aren't good. But sometimes you can have both. Like Drive's a good example. Drive's a great movie, and it's stylish. Sometimes you can do both. And I would think most filmmakers would strive for both. It would make sense if you have a movie that looks good and that is also, good, even if it looked like shit. But yes, I'm excited to see the True Kelly Gang story. I forget the name of it.
Yeah, it's a weird moniker. It's a True History.
I'm sorry, you can cut me off at any time. You just mute me.
No.
Sometimes I talk too much.
Lewis, I hope you've been muting me the entire episode because I'm the worst. But my one big pick is called Spaceship Earth. It comes out May 8th. Okay. I'm not a documentary guy. This is the type of movie that reminds me that documentaries, and hopefully I'm going to see the Barkley Marathon down the road, but Spaceship Earth reminds me that documentaries can be some of the most awesome experiences you have in cinema, because Spaceship Earth to me is close to a 5-star film, 4.5 out of 5 for me. It's directed by Matt Wolf. And I don't know if you guys know what this documentary is about, but simple plot.
Biosphere, right? The Biosphere documentary.
Yes, it's the Biosphere 2 documentary. It's not Biodome, the movie with.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was a. Never mind.
Yeah, it's not the Pauly Shore Stephen Baldwin film, but I wouldn't be surprised if Biodome was actually inspired by Biosphere 2. So essentially, what Biosphere 2 is, in 1991, 8 scientists who each of them specialized in a certain field. They went into this whole enclosed huge area called Biosphere 2, and their mission was to stay in that closed environment for 2 years, where the CO2, the oxygen was all going to be organic. They would have to raise the crops, plants, agriculture, animals. They'd have to grow their own food, learn how to ration everything for 2 years. So that was it. That goal was to prove that maybe they could use this model, this Biosphere 2 model, if they colonize out into space, and even at worst, show how people can live a self-sustainable life here on Earth under that construct. So that's a great idea, but I'm not going to say, I don't know if it's a spoiler, because all you have to do is Wikipedia, but let's just say the whole thing didn't go completely sideways, but it was not as huge success as it should have been, right, Lewis? It wasn't a huge success, but
I think it would turn out more social commentary in the documentary, if I remember right.
yeah.
And you said that was Battlefield Earth. I have to check that one out.
Battlefield Earth is one of the worst films I remember.
Battlefield Earth.
Yeah.
I'm becoming Battlefield Earth over here.
Battlefield Earth, that was something
But
else.
it tilts everything.
Starring John Travolta and Ghost Dog. Cool. Got it.
Yeah. But then also, along with Battlefield Earth, which, by the way, I remember watching that at a screening in Westwood. And after watching that, I felt that was one of the worst moments in my life, literally just watching movies. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Battlefield Earth?
Yeah.
Hey, you said it comes out in May. I was going to check it out when it comes out. But
May 8th, yeah.
Yeah, that movie is something else. But Spaceship Earth, what's cool about this film is it doesn't just talk about Biosphere 2. It centers on the people who helped create Biosphere 2. So the first half of it gives the origins of these group of people who met in Berkeley in 1969, and they were free thinkers. And it's how you see how all the projects they did before Biosphere 2, which are amazing. So Spaceship Earth, it's a little bit misleading because you're thinking it's just about the Biosphere 2. That's maybe about 45% of the film. The first 55% is the thing that grabs you when you realize these people were just were in that free love movement in San Francisco, and they didn't partake in that. They were just hard workers who were just living at that time, and they grew to be these really influential individuals. So Spaceship Earth, May 8th, on digital everywhere. Battlefield Earth, I don't know where that's streaming. I'm sure it's on DVD somewhere. And
it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix. We did a Cinema Schlock Society on it with Narcotic Casserole a couple months ago, and that shit was brilliant.
You can also find it on Scientology69.org. It's
yeah. So that's it for me. That's
I was going to say, Greg, don't feel worried about like spoiling it, because I don't think you should spoil it, because that's what makes the documentary great, is when it's something weird that people haven't heard about, and they're not going to probably go look it up, and it is going to be an interesting story, and that's what makes it to the great documentary, right? It gives you a story. Like I was going to say, next week I'll probably be bringing one, maybe I'm most likely to the stage, that has everything from Kubrick to hardcore gay porn in it. So that makes you go, what kind of documentary is that?
That's a nice teaser for next episode. Do you guys want to bring us out? Because
actually, I got one more. I got one more movie that I forgot. There's I don't know if you guys heard of this one. It's called Groupers, and you can find it. You can go on AndersonCohen.com and get it on DVD or Blu-ray. It's a movie about two guys, and they're two homophobes, and their wieners are stuck together, and all they have to do is get hard for each other. and then they get out. But do they get out or do they get off? We don't know. You're gonna have to find out and see for yourself in groupers.
I heard he's an auteur. Anderson Cowan is a quite.
He is an actor, and not in this movie, but he made a badass movie. I think it's fun.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's funny, and I think everyone should go on Anderson. Is it Anderson Cowan? AndersonCowan.com. You can probably also find it on Amazon and leave a rating on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb.com because people are dicks, and downgraded it because people are assholes.
Yeah, seriously.
But Groupers is not an asshole. Groupers is a movie, and it's a good one, so go watch it.
Very, very good movie, Groupers. AndersonCowan.com. Anderson's the director of Groupers. Excellent film. Bruce Purkey is also quite the, he's not going to plug himself, but he's quite the YouTube reviewer. You've been reviewing movies on your channel. I don't know how to pronounce it. Rustomeyer, Rustomire. You hard at work doing all those reviews. I'm too lazy to do that, buddy.
I've been trying to do like one or two every couple days. So
yeah,
I've been watching lots of movies.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it, man.
I just figure it's, I mean, if anyone does watch it, it just gives you something to go check out, and somebody's going to find a few things at least that sound interesting to them. So there you go.
And
I get terrorized.
manbitesfilm.com.
Yes.
Louis, you have how many podcasts are you doing?
We're doing, right now, we have Cellar Door, which is an audio drama of Lord of the Rings. If you're a fan of Tolkien, this goes into the mythology from creation myth on, and it's actually a retelling of that audio drama with full sound engineering, full soundscape. It's ASMR. Each episode's like about 10 minutes. And then we have Man Bites Film, which is every Friday. We drop that. It's very much like this. It's three dudes in a bar talking shit. We call ourselves the three idiots with the mic, because that's pretty much what we are. And then Man Bites Retro, we actually run right now. It's my fiance and myself talking about movies that we just watched and really enjoy. We do live streams on Facebook and all that stuff. And then Narcotic Casserole works with us as well. They do some phenomenal work over there. And also Diversity Geek that works with us as well, and they do kind of like the whole diversity angle of everything, inclusion and all that stuff.
Cool. And Eric, anything else before we gotta go?
Yes, I have a podcast called Fiddlesticks where I review short films that come off of Pornhub. This week we have Layla Red gives her man Ralph the greatest go-go threesome ever. And Milana, it's time to fuck your pussy in 4K. So if you guys like the HD short films, this is a really good one. It's a think piece, and it's about relationships, really, and friendship. And I mostly should just get, Fiddlesticks. Look. Wait, no, that's.
For it.
Oh, never mind. That does not exist. But
is it coming soon, Eric?
It's coming soon.
I wanted to get a smile. I don't even, folks. This is our first episode. I don't want to tell you how I spell. I don't even want to say how to spell. It's COMING because I'm a very clean podcaster. We are. Wait, are we a clean show, Louis? Or
no, we're not a clean show.
Okay, so we're not a clean show, folks. But at least we're going to give you some really good recommendations every week. And Louis, you want to sign us off?
Yes, just thank you guys for joining us, and stay tuned next week. Join up with the podcast, actually subscribe to the channel, give us a rating and all that stuff, and share us out to everybody so you could actually listen to these recommendations as well. And check us out next week for another episode.
Take care, guys.